In consumer news now, a massive Powerball jackpot is up for grabs this weekend. It currently sits at an estimated $1.8 billion. That is the second largest in history. And while the odds of winning might be slim, if you're like me, you're probably already dreaming about what you would spend the money on. So joining us live now is Marcus Arguez, a financial advisor from Northwestern Mutual. Mr. Arguez, thank you for being with us on a Friday.
Thanks for having me, Morgan.
All right, so I know that a lot of people in these situations, they dream about what they would do, what they would buy, how they would spend it. But what should we actually do if we are making those slim chances of winning? What should actually be done?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say, first of all, congratulations on having generational wealth for something like that. One of the first things not to do is go publicize that. I think a lot of times, you end up with a lot of things like lawsuits, people wanting handouts, things like that. The money can go a lot faster than you expect. And I think when you receive something like $1.8 billion payout potentially, Uncle Sam's got to get his cut. And then it's pretty quick that these things sort of shrink. And we want to make sure that you're just doing the right things, being responsible with that money. So I'd say first, finding some professionals that help with the financial planning piece. A lot of what our firm does is sort of that generational wealth planning is a good start. And then making sure you have a good CPA that helps you with the tax side of things, making sure you just get that done. And I would say it's a good thing to just wait and take a little bit of a pause. You're not in a rush to spend the $1.8 billion, no matter how good that might feel.
So do not jump on TikTok showing that.
Should be a little concerned there.
Love that. All right. You said, use the term generational wealth. And obviously, in order to do that, your money actually has to last. How do you make newfound wealth last?
I think a lot of that comes down to making sure you have a really good plan and a really good idea of what you want the money to do for you. I think a lot of people have different definitions of what generational wealth is and a different sort of objectives around that. So I think starting with sort of the end in mind, if you did have a large lump sum that you received, whether it's lottery or other types, start with the idea of, okay, well, in an ideal world, how would I want this to impact my heirs, my community, charity or philanthropic work? And then it's easy to work backwards and to figure out if you want to be making some lasting impact in different communities or in your family, how do we make sure that the money that you have is actually going to go to fulfill that purpose, as opposed to, I think a lot of times people have concerns that they're just going to have children that don't want to work or the money's going to go to maybe the wrong charities or not be used wisely. And I think a lot of that has to start with the end in mind. So start with sort of defining what you have in terms of goals for the money that you inherit or the money that you receive from a lottery. And then fairly easy for, I think, the right financial professional to put those in the right places to make sure that happens for you and it has the right monitoring and sort of structure to it, whether it be like wills, trusts, some of those estate planning documents can be an important part of that too.
All right, so you're staying off social media, you're finding some wisdom, you're not buying a brand new amazing car. If you beat the odds, you make this happens for you. What do you recommend? Do you take the annuity or the lump sum?
It's going to be wildly dependent on the individual. If you are a little bit older and life expectancy isn't as high and you've already lived a pretty long healthy life, the lump sum might make more sense. The alternative being if you're young and you've got a lot of time left, the annuity can be a really helpful way of sort of spreading that money out over a longer period of time. So some of that might just be case specific. The other thing would be, I think a lot of times people just feel like, hey, if I pass away, I don't want the annuity to go away, which is a real risk. So, if you were married and you have dependents, the lump sum tends to make more sense as well, just because that way, that money's already in the family and the life expectancy isn't going to depend necessarily, the annuity is going to be dependent on the life expectancy there. So you can guarantee the payout with a lump sum if you've got dependents. So some of those things might inform that decision a little bit better. But I would say it's not sort of a one size fits all. And it's great that you have those options as to how you would receive that lottery payout if you're so fortunate as to win that.
Marcus Arguez with Northwestern Mutual, making our dreams a little bit wiser on a Friday. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Morgan.